More breaking news coming in. The accident probe is revealing details. As per official sources, statements that have come to light through preliminary investigations, we're learning that the collision was likely caused by a signal passed at danger. That's one of the main reasons which is being looked at as the reason of the train accident. Going across to Akash Sharma for more. Akash, at least 11 dead so far. Rescue work is still on, relief work is still on, but the preliminary reason suspected right now is signal passed at danger. What more officials maintaining?
Right, so this is a CNN News 18 exclusive where we have seen, in fact, I have seen the joint note prepared by the section officers of that particular section, Kritzween. And, we have been reporting since yesterday that how initially the sources were confirming, that this is a possible case of SPAD. SPAD is basically signal passed at danger. Whenever we have automatic signaling system, Kritzween, so system is, maintained in such a way that loco pilots have been given certain sort of instructions and they have to follow those instructions. For example, if, a section is red, it means that the next section that you are going to approach, possibly some train is standing there or passing through that particular section. If it is single yellow, it means that one section is clear and, the next approachable section is clear, and after that you have this particular train standing or passing. And if you have two yellow, it means that two sections are clear. It means the approaching two sections are clear and the third section has got either train standing or passing. In this particular scenario, we have been given to understand that there is a case where a red signal, which is a signal at danger, passed by the loco pilot and the assistant loco pilot. Assistant loco pilot, is a woman loco pilot and, who is in fact battling for her life, is in the hospital. And, she can in fact possibly tell us to what went wrong in this particular scenario, because, ALP also has this RS valve facility where, if loco pilot has not applied brake in any sort of circumstances, then she can in fact apply the emergency brake. In this particular scenario, we have 11 people dead and 20 injured, and we are learning that in fact loco pilot has lost his life. This was one unfortunate incident where the joint note is somewhere confirming the train was running at a speed of around 75 km/h at around 4 p.m. 15:59 to be very exact. As far as this joint note or the preliminary investigation is suggesting that at that point in time, in fact the train collided with the goods train that was standing there. In fact, the visuals are suggesting that how the coaches got toppled, on the wagons, that are very much there on the line. Upline, was the line where this goods train was standing, and this particular passenger train, which is a local train, was approaching from behind. At around 4 p.m. this incident happened, where we have been given to understand that till last night, many of the passengers were in fact, there in the coaches, and rescue operations were carried out till last night, and in the morning today we have traffic restored. But right now, important thing, CRS investigation will of course, take, in fact, will consider the particular note. But right now, what we know is that primary investigation is suggesting that crew did not, pay attention to the signal. They passed the signal at a danger level, and because of which this accident has happened, Kritzween.
Okay, and you're telling us, Akash, at the same time that this finding is on the basis of technical readings and on-ground parameters. What are the other checks and balances in place that are going to be thoroughly followed before a final conclusion is reached upon? And this is what is declared, that what happened here was in fact the crew not ensuring that all signals are followed duly.
Oh yes, when we say technical parameters, Kritzween, you see, with station master we have this traffic diagram, and with section officers we have several technical parameters. Whenever incidents like such happen, the section officers, be it the engineering department, be it the mechanical department, signaling department, communication department, or people from the station itself, they go to the accident site, they check the, the condition of loco pilot, assistant loco pilot, they try to get the comments as well. In this particular scenario, ALP is not in condition to give any sort of comment, but definitely they must have, got some sort of statement from the passengers or from the other supporting staff at the station and in the train. Now, on the basis of those technical parameters, where I'm talking about the traffic diagram and the other, signal readings and all other things, these are the technical parameters. On ground, they have to check the track, they have to check, the wagon, the status of wagon, the rail, the track. and all these parameters are checked, and after that checking, they try to conclude as to what could be the possible scenario, what could be the reason behind the particular accident. It is the preliminary investigation. Of course, CRS will somewhere follow this particular investigation and will give a detailed assessment of what happened under what circumstances. But this is the primary investigation, which is somewhere suggesting that assistant loco pilot and loco pilot did not follow the traffic signal, and because of which this accident has happened, Prithvi.
Okay, many thanks, Akash, for joining us with those details. There's more news coming in. Once again, worrisome after Bilaspur. We're learning the a similar tragedy is unfolded in Mirzapur. Several pilgrims feared dead after being hit by a train while crossing the tracks in Mirzapur. The victims were travelling from Chopan to Varanasi to take a holy dip in the Ganga, and they had arrived at Chunar by a passenger train when the incident occurred at the railway station. So this is the latest that is coming in now from from Mirzapur, I beg your pardon. At least a few people, at least 4 feared dead. This after being struck by an oncoming train while they were crossing a railway track in Mirzapur. This incident is believed to have occurred after the victims had just alighted from a separate train going across to Akash Sharma for more. Akash, this is not unheard of. We've seen these kind of unfortunate incidents take place in the past as well. But could these passengers who were crossing the tracks, could they have been alerted in any way? What more officials sharing?
Sometimes it is also about some sort of level of caution and alertness. Whenever it is about train travels, so it is always advised, to follow the instructions, to follow the safety protocols. And Railways is telling us that even when, the footover bridge is available, even when, train, in fact, went to loop line and got halted at the platform, they did not, deboard, at the platform, and they instead chose the other side, because of which this accident has happened. We are learning that all these passengers were traveling in Prayagraj Express, that got stationed at this Chunar station, Kritzween, and all of these passengers, instead of going on the platform side, they tried, in fact, deboarded the train from the opposite side, and that's when the 12311, that is Netaji Express on the main line, was passing the section, and they got hit by this particular train. We are learning that at least 4 passengers have lost their life. We'll wait for some sort of official confirmation on the figures, but definitely it is an unfortunate incident where we have been given to understand that 3 to 4 passengers have been run over by 12311, that is Netaji Express at Chunar main line, Kritzween.
Okay. Stay on with us, Akash. We need more details on this because this is coming right after the Bilaspur train accident, and these were devotees who were hit by the train while crossing tracks. You spoke of how the need of the hour was to exercise caution here, be alerted, and like I said, we've seen these kind of incidents take place in the past as well, where people have opted for a shortcut. They've opted for just simply crossing the tracks to get to the other side of the platform, which is what they've been warned against time and again too. But give us the exact timing here. What was the movement of the trains like? What more have officials been able to share so far?
Right, so this incident has happened around 9:30 in the morning today. You rightly pointed out these were possibly the devotees who were going for, some sort of pilgrim, and in fact, some sort of plan was there, because we have been given to understand that possibly this was a group which was traveling. In fact, these individuals were traveling together. At around 9:30, this incident has happened. And Kritzween, you see, we have in Railways, we have several sort of, precautionary measures for incident like such. Trespassing is one crime in Railways, where RPF and GRP keep an eye on passengers who are not following the rules, or who are, trying to, go like in this particular scenario where passengers have deboarded the train from the other side. And, whenever it is about the loop lines and the main line, so we know that main line is a line where, a train goes without any obstacle or without any, halt. It is one line where train can exercise its maximum speed, and this is what possibly has happened in this particular case, where Netaji Express, which was passing through that particular section, has hit, in fact, ran over these particular passengers. 3 to 4 is the initial number, but this can go up given the fact that there are a number of passengers who in fact deboarded from the train on the other side of the platform, and that's when this incident has happened. This particular region is North Central Railways, the NCR region. The particular area is in Uttar Pradesh, in fact, the eastern Uttar Pradesh area where this incident has happened. Prayagraj division is the division where this particular accident has happened. It is very unfortunate, Christine, and it's not the very first time when, an incident like such has happened. Of course, you can ask several sort of questions to railways. Like since yesterday, we have been asking questions to railways. But what you'll do in this particular scenario where railways has nothing to do with, the sort of accident. They could not, they can only issue advisories. They can only ask you. They can only penalize you, after the sort of violations. But in this particular scenario, what could they have done? Of course, we'll get some sort of more details, and we are not, in fact, drawing the conclusion. There can be some other possibility as well. We'll wait for some sort of investigation because, yes, people have lost their life and investigation will happen in this particular case too. But primary, information and in fact the initial inputs are suggesting that these passengers did not deboard the train from the platform side. They chose the other side, and that's when the Netaji Express that was passing through the main line, ran over these people.
Okay, Akash, thank you for joining us with those details. We'll come back to you in just a bit. There's also a reaction that's come in from Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. He's taken cognizance of the train accident. And he's also expressed his heartfelt condolences. Further, he's instructed SDRF and NDRF teams to promptly arrive at the location and accelerate rescue efforts. Manmohan Rai is joining us with more details. Manmohan, what more do we know about the Chief Minister's intervention, and also have officials shared any additional details? Akash has broken down some of the initial inputs on how the passengers deboarded from the other side is when the other train hit them. What more do we know? And what about the death toll, Manmohan? Okay, we'll just reconnect that line with Manmohan. He'll be sharing additional inputs with us. Like I was saying, the Chief Minister's taken cognizance of the incident, the accident that's taken place in Mirzapur district. Apart from expressing his condolences to the bereaved families of the victims and also directing officials to immediately reach the site and expedite relief operations, he's directed officials to ensure proper medical treatment for the injured, and has also wished them speedy recovery. Manmohan is back with us on the line. Manmohan, do we have a clear figure as far as death toll is concerned? Akash continues to stay on with us. We'll go across to Manmohan in just a bit. Akash, you were telling us anywhere between 3 to 4 people are feared dead as we speak. The Chief Minister's reacted. He has intervened. He's taken cognizance of the report that he has received and has also directed officials to ensure proper medical treatment. Now, have we seen something like this in the recent past happen, Akash? And if yes, what measures have been introduced by the railway officials to ensure that these kind of incidents don't take place, even though part of it is to be blamed on the people who have carelessly chosen to walk off the tracks? Anything that's officially been done? Any protocols we've seen change the last few months?
Oh yes, I'll come to the protocols, but initially you were asking about the death toll, and Manmohan has in fact reported that how 4 people have lost their life, and it has been confirmed by the district administration. Manmohan is our colleague from that particular area, and he's reporting that how district administration has confirmed that 4 people have lost their life, and a number of passengers are injured as well. They have been admitted to the nearby hospital. Now coming to the protocols, the sort of advisories. So you see, Christine, in the national capital, I have been reporting on railways for last so many years, and in the national capital, we used to have regular cases like such. We have at places, we have stations where on both the sides, you cannot have platforms because, you have to accommodate the other tracks as well. And in these cases, there are checks, regular checks in the drives by the Railway Protection Force. RPF is somewhere responsible to keep an eye and monitor, cases like such. And wherever they find people, trespassing, wherever they find people, not abiding by the sort of protocols or the safety measures, they try to, find them, they try to issue challans and everything else. But in this particular scenario, Chunar is a local station there, and possibly, I'm not sure about the RPF officials and the presence of RPF officials there. But even in that scenario, you cannot immediately stop someone coming down or, deboarding the train. The that no, you don't have to do it. And you cannot, just deploy RPF officials on every coach or every gate.
That's another challenge, that's been seen here, and that's resulted in possibly 3 to 4 people losing their lives too. Akash, we'll come back to you in just a bit. Manmohan Rai is through with us. Manmohan, we're learning as per sources that the passengers got off on the opposite side of the train instead of the platform side is when they were hit by another train coming from the opposite direction. Do we have a confirmation on the same?
Yes, that is what the officials are saying right now. These are initial few hours, and that is the initial report. Officials say that, these were pilgrims. They were traveling for Ganga Snan. It is a local festival here celebrated with a lot of fervor. Pilgrims travel to have a bath in river Ganga. And these were pilgrims traveling for Ganga Snan. When the train halted at Chunar station, they apparently in their hurry or, in their misjudgment, they stepped out on the wrong side. So it was not on the platform that they stepped out on the tracks. And suddenly a train from the other side was coming, and this unfortunate tragic incident happened.
Thank you, Manmohan, for sharing all those details with us. Thanking Akash as well. That's all we could pack for you for now. We'll get back with more details on this incident from Mirzapur in just a bit. Heading into a very quick break. News and updates continue when we return.